everyone, this is your unemployed chef. For today's video, we'll be making some French omelets. This is something that the French are the best at instead of surrendering. And for this recipe, we'll be using 3 eggs, some chopped or diced onions. This is optional, but right here I have some fried turkey bacon bits that I'm going to put in my omelet. About 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter, some red chili pepper flakes to taste, some parsley flakes to taste, some garlic powder, about 1 teaspoon, black pepper to taste, salt to taste, and we're going to use about 2 capfuls of whole milk. I believe that milk helps spread the eggs out. I've heard in some other recipes or just from other chefs in general, it's not good to put milk in the eggs because chemistry, and that's as far as I'll go into that. I just think that milk helps to spread out the eggs a little bit more. You don't have to really put milk into this one. Just decide on your own. So to get started, right now I have my pan on 3, which would be a low, a high low, or a low high. And right now I have some oil from my bacon that I cooked not too long ago. So because I already have oil, I'm not going to put a lot of butter. I'm just going to put just a small sliver of butter into my pan and let it melt. Just a small sliver as promised. And I'm just going to let that melt. So my butter is melted. And now I'm going to put in my red onions. I just have red onions on hand for today. You don't have to put red onions. You could just use white onions. And I'm just going to let them saute just a little bit. And I'm just going to put a little bit of salt. And I just want to brown these slightly. I don't want them too soft. Okay. And I'll try to keep these on for about 2 minutes at the most. 2 minutes on the clock. Go. So I was right, my minute is up and they did brown slightly. And now it's time to put my eggs in. And for this type of omelet, we're not going to fold it in half. We're actually going to fold it into 3/3. So we can make sure that the inside is kind of a scrambled egg texture and that the outside is just a soft egg texture, not scrambled. So as soon as you put your eggs in the pan, you want to start scrambling. And then I'm going to put in my 3 capfuls of milk. 1, 2, and actually I'm just going to leave it at 2 capfuls. Let that mix in some. And then I'm going to put in my bacon bits. This is not a traditional French omelet. This is just an Americanized creation of at least the filling. A traditional French omelet is just a a French omelet with just salt and pepper, but I just think that's just so bland. I just want to spice things up. So I'm putting in some of my garlic. And you want to make sure while you're cooking to keep an eye on how the egg sets, because we're actually going to scramble the egg some, mash it down, and then we're going to fold it in. So I'll explain it a lot better as we go along. So that's just a little bit of salt I put in, some red chili flakes, and then a little bit of black pepper. Okay, and I'm going to continue scrambling. And when the eggs are set like this, take it off the pan, and you're actually going to mash everything together while it's still kind of runny, and you're going to form it into a rough circular shape. It sounds gross, but trust me, it's not gross. Okay, and make sure you don't do this on the heat, because if this continues cooking, then the egg will fall apart as you try to flip it. So when you're done, just put it back on the heat and let things firm up. And while you continue to let your omelet mixture set, just go around the sides of it and to just lift it up. And if you're able to lift it up easily without it breaking, that means that it's good for it to be flipped into its first third. So I'm just checking, making sure I don't rip up my omelet. So I'm going to flip to into my first third. And voila, that's a success. And now we can go into our second third. And I pushed this back a little bit because it's a bigger third than I thought. So you can actually use your finger. Be careful because it's hot. Just flip it into the second third. Like so. And voila, you have a French omelet. And this is my French omelet after cooking. After cooking is just that even though that your eggs are done visually and they're on your plate and you're ready to eat them, they're actually not done cooking because the residual heat still contained inside of the eggs continues to cook the egg. Top it with some black pepper. Some parsley. And just a little bit more of some blood pressure. And there you have it, folks. You have an Americanized French omelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and complain. As always, the recipe will be in the description box below. This is your Unemployed Chef. And always chase that yum.